Good evening everyone. Today in this video I would like to present the depiction of Catholicism and pain in the novel The Heart of the Matter by Graham Greene. First of all, I would like to discuss the epigraph of the novel by Charles Piggy, who wrote, "No one is more competent than a sinner in matters of Christianity, no one but the saint." Now, this quotation captures the essence of every Catholic novel, including this one. That is, it centers on a sinful saint or an erring Catholic. Catholicism is the professed and practiced doctrine of Roman Catholic Church. It believes in the teachings of Bible and the Old Testament that centers on Holy Trinity, fall of humanity, and incarnation of Jesus Christ. It also believes the infallibility of papacy. It follows the 7 sacraments, that is baptism, confirmation, Eucharist, reconciliation, anointment of the sick, matrimony, and holy order. Such beliefs are observed by Father Renck, Father Clay, Mr. Henry Scooby, Louis Scooby, etc., though there are lapses in their beliefs as well. These lapses present a questioning of Catholic dogma. For example, the character of Father Renck is corrupt. He is a hive of rumors and alcoholic. He is of no help to the living and prophesies that it is better to sin 70 times and repent each time than to sin once and never repent. Now, the statement directly questions the relevance of the sacrament of confession. Why bother confessing if you are going to commit the sin again? Next, let us discuss the Catholic beliefs of Henry Scooby and Louis Scooby. These two characters are directly opposed to one another. Scooby longs for God's grace and spiritual peace, and he loves everyone in all their meanness and violence like a saint. He attempts to question providence in asking, couldn't the test of man have been carried out in fewer years? Couldn't we have committed our first major sin at 7, have missed ourselves for love or hate at 10, have clutched at redemption on a 15-year-old deathbed? Also, after observing the shipwreck at Pendy, Scooby exclaims, it would need all of Father Blewell's ingenuity to explain that the child should survive 40 days and nights in the open boat, but she will die. That was mystery, to reconcile with the love of God. Supremacy of God and predestination are the key concepts of Calvinist Christians. Though Scooby questioned them time and again, but ultimately he seeks redemption through that very God's grace. Scooby epiphanizes and observes that God had sometimes broken his own laws. And was it less possible for him to put out a hand of forgiveness into the societal darkness? Or, as observed by Father Renck, for goodness sake, Mrs. Scooby, don't you imagine you or I know a thing about God's mercy? The atheist Helen Rold questions the irony of Catholic doctrine as she says, it is a wonderful excuse being a Catholic. It doesn't stop you from sleeping with me. It only stops you from marrying me. In comparison to guiltful affair of Scooby, Louis doesn't consider kissing a third party as sinful. She terms it as mere coastal fear. Although she observes the general Catholic sacraments, if we exclude her adulterous rendezvous with Wilson, but she lacks in the basic humanitarian notion that charity begins at home. She is self-pitying most of the times and forces on her husband a moral and psychological burden. She forces Scooby to attend the mass slyly, which, though not her intention, forces Scooby to eternal damnation. Pain is another constant theme. Pain owing to lack of material resources including low salary, passing over for promotion, or pain as induced by psychological pressure or horrors, that is PTSD, post-trauma stress disorder. Graham Greene also philosophizes the notion that Pain is inevitable, as is suffering and redemption in Catholicism. As observed at different instances in the novel, what an absurd thing it was to expect happiness in a world so full of misery. As observed by Scobie after Pemberton's death, life always repeated the same pattern. There was always, sooner or later bad news that had to be broken, comforting lies to be uttered, pink guns to be consumed to keep the misery away. Observation of Scooby on Louis' return. Comforting lies include, I love you, darling. I won't leave you ever, said to Helen or Louis. A sick man's death means to them only a short suffering. Everybody has to die. We are all of us resigned to death, but it is life we aren't resigned to. Also, the novel observes the spiritual suffering of Mrs. Scooby. What a mess I am! I am carrying with me suffering like a body smell. Kill me. Put an end to me. Vermin don't have to exterminate themselves. Kill me now. Now, to conclude, I would like to conclude with the words of Francois Mauriac, who defined Greene's literary as well as his personal world as a world where there is corrupted nature, omnipotent grace, and poverty-stricken men who is nothing even in evil. And there is a mysterious love which lays hold upon him in the thick of his ridiculous misery and absurd shame. Scooby believes in the notion of fallen humanity, predestination, and irresistible grace of God. He believes, one against all teaching of church, one has the conviction that love, any kind of love, does deserve a bit of mercy. One will pay, of course, pay terribly, but I can't believe one will pay forever. Graham Greene. Now that's all from my side. Thank you.